Welcome to another Odds HQ NHL betting preview video for Thursday, September 3rd. Ian Cameron with you. Philadelphia Flyers and the New York Islanders get it going in Game 6 of their Eastern Conference semifinal series tonight. The New York Islanders minus 115, slight favorites, I should say, in Game 6 tonight as they look to close out the Philadelphia Flyers. A second chance for them at trying to close out the Philadelphia Flyers. I'll have a little something about second chances for the Islanders here in these playoffs as we're seeing a little pattern developing with them. But they're minus 115 favorites in Game 6, total 5 across the board here. The Philadelphia Flyers, give them credit for what they were able to do in Game 5 to stay alive and extend this series with a 4-3 overtime win. Scott Laughton with a deflection goal in overtime to force Game 6 and keep the Philadelphia Flyers alive at least for one more game. And Philadelphia got great performances from their top guys. Simple as that. Even Konechny, who didn't score in that game, he played a lot better. He was a lot more noticeable, getting chances, getting opportunities, something that was kind of missing for him in previous games. More importantly, two guys that Alain Vigneault really centered on and called out, so to speak, prior to Game 5, Claude Giroux and James Van Riemsdyk, two guys that Alain Vigneault said going into Game 5, we need more from you. We need your offense. It's great to give you effort. It's great to give the team effort. It's great to do some other things. Win faceoffs. In Giroux's case, he's out on the penalty kill. He does a lot of other things other than scoring to help the team. But at some point, you need guys like that to produce offensively, because the name of the game at the end of the day, you got to score more goals than the other team. And you need your top forwards, your top offensive players to help you score goals. And unfortunately for both Giroux and Van Riemsdyk, it had been a really rough offensive series for them against the Islanders. Well, they listened to their coach, they heeded his words, and boy, they both ended up getting on the score sheet for the Philadelphia Flyers, scoring goals in the Game 5 win. Giroux scored one, JVR scored one, so great step-up efforts from them. And they're going to need more of that. That's the only way they're going to come back and win this series. They need all their top players to be that way, because when you contrast that with the New York Islanders, they've gotten their top forwards playing very well for them throughout not only this series, the whole playoffs, going back to the Florida and the Washington series that the Islanders won. Anthony Beauvillier, Anders Lee, Jordan Eberle, Brock Nelson, Matthew Barzal, who may or may not play, by the way, tonight, which is due to a collision that he had with Sean Couturier of the Flyers, who is also questionable. So you got two key centermen, one for each team, Barzal and Couturier, both of them questionable here for Game 6. So those are two player injury statuses you want to keep your eye on going into Game 6 tonight. But the New York Islanders still very confident after the overtime loss. In fact, they've got to feel very good they even got that game to overtime, because Philly got up 3-1. It looked like for sure it was going to be over. We're going to see a Game 6, but the Islanders don't go away. They came back. They tied the game 3-3, and really, if not for some spectacular, dazzling goaltending from Carter Hart of the Flyers early in overtime, we could be talking season over and series over the other night. But he was just outstanding, particularly in overtime. The Islanders had a ton of great chances, couldn't bury it. And, of course, the Philadelphia Flyers, a few minutes later, end up getting the deflection goal to win Game 5 in overtime and stay alive. But I think if you're the Islanders, you haven't lost confidence. It was an even game for the most part, Game 5. The Flyers just did a better job finally finishing their chances and burying some pucks in the net, which is something that they have struggled to do. They haven't had many games like Game 5 where they scored 4 goals. So, if you're the New York Islanders, you're not shaking. And Barry Trotz was very optimistic, positive after the game, saying, you know what, if we bury one of our chances in overtime early that we had several, A-plus scoring chances, it's a different story. And he's absolutely right. I don't think the New York Islanders, you got to worry about their confidence being shaken. I honestly think still, when you look at this series, there's been 5 games, 15 regulation periods played in this series, and I still believe the Islanders have been the better team for 11 or 12 of the 15 periods in this series. They have just been the better team for the far greater amount of time, and I think they're going to end this series here tonight in Game 6. Why do I think that as well? Because we've seen a pattern with the New York Islanders. In the qualifying round against Florida, they lost the game when they had their first chance to eliminate Florida. They were up 2-0 in that series. It was best 3 of 5. They had a chance to sweep them in 3. They lost game 3 against Florida. But what did they do in game 4? Bounced back strong. Great performance all around, and they closed out that series in 4 games. So the second chance they had to eliminate Florida, they got the job done. The first round against the Washington Capitals, they were up 3-0 in that series, had a chance to sweep the Capitals, but Capitals stay alive with a 3-2 win in game 4. Again, the New York Islanders miss out on their first chance to eliminate an opponent, but then game 5 rolled around. What ended up happening? Dominant shutout win for the New York Islanders to close out the Washington Capitals. And once again, on the second chance they had to eliminate their opponent in the series, they got the job done. And now here we are again against Philadelphia. A second chance for the New York Islanders to eliminate a series opponent and end the series. And just like they did against Florida and just like they did against Washington, I expect the second chance to come through for the New York Islanders to eliminate their opponent. Give me the New York Islanders here, minus 115 against the Philadelphia Flyers in Game 6. I also have a smaller bet over the total, 5 in an elimination game. I will always bet those over the total in some fashion. It's not hard to get over 5. If the Islanders score first, Flyers have to open up. You could get an extended amount of time with the empty net and a late goal-scoring explosion. So I do like the over as well. Plus the New York Islanders here, minus 115 against the Philadelphia Flyers. That's my Odds HQ NHL betting preview video for Thursday, September 3rd. I'm Ian Cameron. Thank you for watching. Reminder to check out odds.com every day for great sports betting content and the Odds HQ YouTube channel for daily live shows and videos to help you pile up the profits. Enjoy the NHL action on Thursday. I'll be back with you tomorrow on Friday for another Odds HQ NHL betting preview video.